You have been feeling it, a heavy, unexplainable stillness in the air around you. It's as if the world has been muted, or perhaps you have been tuned to a frequency that no longer picks up the static of the masses. You wake up at 3 a.m., not with anxiety, but with a strange, pulsing clarity in your chest. Your eyes open, and the room feels different. The shadows feel charged. The silence is no longer empty. It is pregnant with a message you can't quite translate yet. But your soul already understands. This is not a coincidence. This is not a phase of depression or a fleeting moment of burnout. This is the beginning of the great separation. Notice the physical toll this is taking on your vessel. Your body feels like it is being rewritten from the inside out. You may have been experiencing sudden, sharp headaches that vanish as quickly as they arrive, pressures behind the eyes as if your internal vision were trying to break through a veil. Your ears are ringing, a high-pitched hum that persists even in the dead of night, signaling that your cellular structure is trying to match a new, divine resonance. You feel a sudden, intense fatigue that no amount of sleep can fix, followed by bursts of electrical energy that make it impossible to sit still. Your skin feels sensitive. Your digestion has shifted, and you find yourself craving purity, clean water, raw light, and total solitude. But the physical is only the surface. Look at the emotional landscape of your life right now. You feel a profound sense of detachment that borders on the surreal. People you have known for years, people you once called friends or even family, suddenly feel like strangers. You sit across from them, listening to their complaints, their gossip, and their mundane worries, and you feel an ocean of distance between you. You are physically there, but your spirit has already left the room. It feels lonely, doesn't it, to be the only one who sees the cracks in the sky. You feel a deep, aching nostalgia for a place you've never been, a longing for a home that isn't made of bricks and mortar. You are grieving the life you used to have. Even though you know that life was a cage, you feel misunderstood, mislabeled, and isolated. They call you difficult, distant, or cold. But the truth is, you are simply becoming unreachable to anything that vibrates at a lower frequency. There is a spiritual weight to this silence. You are currently being shielded. The universe has pulled you into a cocoon because the version of you that existed yesterday cannot survive where you are going. You are being unplugged from the matrix. Every time you try to engage in the old drama, every time you try to fix a situation that isn't yours to carry, you feel a sharp internal no. It is a visceral rejection. Your spirit is literally refusing to participate in the illusions of the world. You are standing in the hallway between two worlds. The door behind you has locked, and the door in front of you is still shimmering into existence. Do not mistake this stillness for stagnation. In the spirit realm, the most intense battles are won in the silence. The reason you feel so blank is because your internal hard drive is being wiped of the ancestral trauma, the societal programming, and the lies you were told about your own worth. You are being emptied so that you can be filled with the primordial light. This shift is silent because it is internal. It was quiet before the earthquake. It is the indrawing of breath before the lion roars. You are being prepared for a manifestation so massive that your current nervous system wouldn't be able to handle it if it happened all at once. So, the universe has granted you this period of invisibility. You are hidden. You are protected. You are in the void. And the void is where all creation begins. Stay in this energy. Do not rush to fill the silence with noise. The shift has already begun, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what is coming for you. Why is this happening to you now? Why is the silence so heavy? And why does the world suddenly feel like a suit of clothes that no longer fits? You must understand that this is not a random occurrence. You are not losing your mind, and you are not falling behind in life. You are being subjected to a divine extraction. The spiritual cause of this shift is the elevation of your specific soul frequency. You have reached a tipping point where your internal vibration has become incompatible with the lower density reality of the matrix. You are literally vibrating out of range of the world's control mechanisms. Think of it as a radio station. For years, you played the same music as everyone else. The music of struggle, the music of people-pleasing, the music of ancestral trauma. But something inside you snapped. You began to seek the truth. You began to demand more from your existence. And as you did, your dial began to turn. You moved from the static of the FM band into the clear, crystalline frequencies of the higher dimensions. Now, you can still see the old station, and you can see the people still dancing to that distorted music, but you can no longer hear it the same way. The spiritual law of resonance dictates that two things vibrating at different frequencies cannot occupy the same experiential space for long. This is why your life feels like it's falling apart. It's not falling apart, it's being reorganized to match the new you. There is a specific divine rule that you have unknowingly broken, the rule of the collective illusion. By waking up, you have stopped feeding the energy grid that sustains this 3D reality. Most people are batteries for the system. They provide their fear, their anger, and their desire for validation to keep the matrix running. But you stopped providing that fuel. You went inward. You started finding validation from the source within you, rather than the mirrors around you. This has created a void in the spiritual economy of your environment. Your family, your workplace, and your old social circles feel this vacuum. They are trying to pull you back down because your light was the only thing illuminating their darkness. You were their lighthouse. But now, the lighthouse has turned its beam inward to find its own shore. The universe has placed you in a spiritual sabbatical. You are being quarantined by the divine because your energy is currently too potent and too volatile to be mixed with the mundane. If you were to step out into the world in full force right now, you would shatter the fragile egos around you. Your presence has become a judgment without you saying a single word. This is why you feel so much resistance when you try to do normal things. The spirit is blocking your path. Every door that closes, every phone call that isn't returned, and every plan that falls through is a deliberate act of protection from your guardians. They are saying, not there, not that, not them. You are undergoing a DNA recording. The silent shift is the activation of the dormant strands of your light body. The heavy pressure you feel in your chest is the expansion of your high heart chakra. It is literal alchemy. The lead of your human suffering is being turned into the gold of divine wisdom. You are being taught the law of detachment, the most difficult lesson for a chosen one. You are being shown that you cannot carry anyone else into the new earth. You must be light to rise. You must drop the baggage of who you thought you were to become who you were sent here to be. This shift is the final preparation for your true mission. You aren't just a person living a life. You are a frequency holder, a grid worker, a disruptor of the old system. The reason the silence is so deafening is that the heavens are holding their breath, watching you emerge from the chrysalis. The cause is divine. The reason is love. The result is total liberation. Have you noticed how the people around you are suddenly agitated? How do the narcissists in your life seem to be losing their grip, acting out in ways that are both desperate and transparent? This is not your imagination. The Matrix is reacting to your internal shift because you have become a glitch in their system. For years, these people, the energy vampires, the manipulators, the gatekeepers of your old life, thrived on your light. They used your empathy as a buffet, feeding off your desire to be understood, your need to fix things, and your willingness to carry their burdens. But now, as you enter this silent shift, the buffet is closed. They are scared. They are absolutely terrified of the version of you that is emerging. When you were loud, when you were reacting, and when you were defending yourself, they had power over you. Why? Because your reaction was their fuel. But now, you have become silent. You have become observant. You have moved into a state of divine indifference. To a narcissist or a puppet of the Matrix, your silence is a death sentence. It is the sound of their control evaporating. They are poking you, prodding you, and bringing up old traumas just to see if they can still get a rise out of you. They are throwing Hail Mary passes of chaos into your life, trying to drag you back down to the frequency of conflict where they are king. Look closely at their behavior. Notice the sudden smear campaigns, the accidental texts, the concern that feels more like an interrogation. They are sensing that the old you, the one they could predict and manage, is dead. They are looking at you and seeing a stranger, someone with eyes that reflect a depth they can't fathom. They see that you are no longer seeking their approval, and that makes them irrelevant. Nothing scares a manipulator more than irrelevance. They would rather you hate them than ignore them, because hate is still an energetic cord. But this silent shift has cut the cord. You aren't angry anymore. You are simply finished. The Matrix itself, the societal structures that demand your compliance, is also reacting. You might find that systems you once relied on are suddenly glitching for you. Technology might act up when you're around, or you find yourself feeling physically ill in crowded, low-vibe places like malls or corporate offices. The enemy is trying to make the world as uncomfortable as possible for you to force you back into the fold. They want you to think you're failing, so you'll come crawling back to the safety of the status quo. But you are too far gone for that now. You have seen behind the curtain. You must realize the sheer power you hold over them right now. By remaining in your peace, by refusing to engage in the drama, you are literally starving the dark forces that once governed your life. You are a frequency disruptor. When you walk into a room, your silence carries more weight than their loudest shouts. You are making them face themselves. And for many of them, that is the ultimate torture. They are reacting because your light is acting as a mirror, showing them their own decay. They don't hate you. They hate the fact that they can no longer use you. They are terrified because they know their time in your story is over. You are the protagonist now, and they have been demoted to background noise. Stand firm in your stillness. Their reaction is the confirmation that you are winning. Their desperation is the proof of your promotion. Let them scream into the void you've left behind. You have a kingdom to build. What is the deeper truth behind this sudden, chilling isolation? Why does it feel as though the very fabric of your reality is being rewoven by unseen hands? You must understand the metaphysical mechanics of the silent shift. This is not just a personal change, it is a cosmic realignment. You are moving through a localized event horizon in your own timeline. In the realms of the spirit, there is a law of vacuums. The universe cannot pour new wine into an old. cracked skin. Your life had to become empty, insilent, and even desolate, so that the architecture of your destiny could be completely rebuilt from the foundation up. This is the fulfillment of a divine prophecy written into your very soul before you took your first breath. You were sent here as a system buster, a specialized soul lineage designed to infiltrate the dense, dark grids of this planetary consciousness and anchor a higher light. But to anchor that light, you first had to be broken by the system itself. You had to experience the betrayal, the rejection, and the systemic gaslighting of the Matrix so that you would eventually develop an immunity to its lies. The silence you are experiencing now is the immunity phase. You are no longer susceptible to the viruses of guilt, shame, or the need for external validation. You are being sanitized by the holy fire of truth. The Creator is executing a master plan for your life that requires you to be untethered from every earthly anchor. This is why your old life is dissolving. The universe is stripping away every false identity you ever wore. You were the helper, the scapegoat, the strong one, the fixer. None of those labels were yours. They were roles assigned to you by a blind world to keep you occupied while your true power lay dormant. But now, the great architect is saying, enough. The specific truth of this shift is that you are transitioning from a human doing to a divine being having a human experience. You are beginning to operate under kingdom protocols rather than worldly laws. In the higher dimensions, there is a great assembly watching your progress. They see the silent shift as your graduation. You have passed the tests of the wilderness. You have sat in the darkness without losing your mind. You have been mocked and stayed silent. You have been lonely and stayed faithful to your inner voice. Because of this, the laws of the universe are now shifting in your favor. The law of compensation is being activated for every tear you shed in secret. The law of magnetic attraction is being recalibrated so that you no longer attract projects or parasites, but partners and provisions. You are being moved into a gated frequency. Think of it as a divine witness protection program. The reason you feel so invisible to the world is that God has hidden you in the secret place mentioned in the ancient texts. You are being shielded from the upcoming global turbulence because your work, your real mission begins when the rest of the world starts to shake. You are the calm in the storm. You are being trained in the silence so that when the world is in chaos, you will stand unshakable, a pillar of crystalline light. This is the truth. The silence isn't a sign that God has forgotten you. It is a sign that He is finally trusting you with the full weight of your glory. You are no longer a servant of the narrative. You are the author of the new reality. The shift is your quiet birth into a power that the world cannot give, and therefore, the world cannot take away. So, how do you navigate this profound, life-altering silence? How do you walk through this final corridor of transition without looking back and turning to a pillar of salt? You must master the art of holy, unwavering detachment. Physically, you need to anchor this massive influx of new light into your heavy, human vessel. Your nervous system is carrying 1,000,000 volts of divine electricity right now. Go outside. Place your bare feet upon the raw earth. Feel the soil. Drink water that is alive, clean, and pure. Most importantly, silence the noise of the physical world. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb when the old reality tries to text you, when the narcissist tries to bait you with a manufactured crisis, or when the Matrix tries to trigger you into a state of panic. You will practice the sacred, ancient discipline of the untouchable sovereign. You do not reply. You do not explain your boundaries. You do not write paragraphs defending your peace. You simply embody your absence. Your non-response is the most devastating weapon you possess. Emotionally, you must release the heavy, suffocating guilt of outgrowing the people you once desperately loved. The sorrow you feel is not actually yours. It is the dying gasp of the trauma bonds trying to reattach themselves to your heart. Let those chains snap. You are not abandoning them. You are simply refusing to drown with them. You are leading by example from a dimensional distance they cannot yet travel. Spiritually, it is time to permanently seal your aura. Right now, in your mind's eye, visualize a massive, spinning wall of consuming violet fire surrounding your entire energy field. See it clearly. Hear the crackle of its frequency. From this moment forward, anything that approaches you with hidden agendas, manipulation, deceit, or low vibrational jealousy is immediately incinerated by this firewall. You are no longer accessible to the spiritual parasites of this world. You have become a closed, infinite circuit of divine power. Now, I want you to take a deep, slow breath. Pull the air all the way down into the pit of your stomach. Breathe in the heavy, rich, golden silence of your new reality. Hold it. Now, exhale the static of your painful past. Listen closely to the resonance of my voice and let these words penetrate the deepest layers of your subconscious mind. Let this be your ultimate decree. Speak this into the quantum field. I command all of my power, all of my energy, and all of my fragmented soul pieces to return to my physical body right now, washed and purified in the highest, blinding light. I permanently revoke all access to my energy field. I break every ancestral curse, every trauma bond, and every limiting contract I made in ignorance. I release all obligations to timelines, people, and systems that vibrate below my absolute sovereignty. I fully accept this divine sabbatical. I welcome the holy silence. I am the architect of my new reality, and I seal my frequency against all dark infiltration. The shift is complete. The old me is dead. I am awake. I am protected, and I am stepping into my absolute, undeniable power. If you felt the heavy vibration of these words in your chest, if your weary soul recognizes this undeniable truth, do not let this cosmic moment pass without anchoring it into the physical realm. Down in the comments below, write the exact words. I claim my quiet power. Let your keystrokes be a physical testament to the spiritual earthquake happening within you right now. Subscribe to this channel to lock into this frequency. Join the global gathering of the chosen ones who are silently waking up and taking back the earth. You are not alone in this dark void. We are holding the grid together, hand in hand, in the invisible realms. The old world is fading to black, but your golden kingdom is just beginning to rise from the ashes. Walk in your blinding light. Stay fiercely in your silence, and never, ever apologize for the God-given power you are about to unleash upon this earth.